Hi guys, so today is part 4, the last part of Junie B. Jones' Smell Something Fishy. So think back about what's happened so far in Junie B. Jones. So remember, they're having a pet day at her school, and Junie B. is trying to think of a pet that she can bring to school to show. She can't bring Tickle because no dogs or cats allowed, remember? And then Grandma Helen Miller gave her an earthworm that she named Noodle. And she was going to bring Noodle, but she lost him because yesterday she ended up dumping him out into the garden, and Noodle scurried away, probably dug himself into the dirt, right? So let's see what's going to happen. Chapter 8. A surprise in the freezer. I cried on my bed for a real long time. Pet day is ruined, it's ruined, it's ruined. Grandpa Miller looked all over the house for pictures of Tickle. He taped some on cardboard and brought them to my room. Look, he said, this doesn't look too bad, does it? I raised my sagging head off the pillow, and I looked at the pictures, and I patted him real gentle. You did your best, old man, I said, very soft. Grandpa Miller rolled his eyes up at the ceiling. I looked up there too, but I didn't see anything. After that, I got out of bed, and I dressed myself for school, and I walked to the kitchen very slumping. Grandpa Miller made me a turkey sandwich. What do you want to drink? He asked. I did a sad sigh. Orange juice, please, I said. Grandpa Miller opened the refrigerator. Orange juice, orange juice. I don't see any orange juice, he said. I went over and helped him look. We couldn't find the orange juice anywhere, not even in the freezer. Just then my grandpa moved the frozen vegetables. And guess what? My heart stopped breathing, 'cause I couldn't believe my eyeballs, that's why. Grandpa Miller, do you see what I see? Do you, huh? Do you? Grandpa Miller looked closer. Well, I don't see any orange juice, that's for sure, he said. I danced all around the room. No, Grandpa, not orange juice, a pet. I see a pet for pet day. See it there, Grandpa? See it in there? Then I clapped my hands real joyful, and I skipped to the freezer, and I grabbed it right off the shelf. Uh-oh, what do you think Junie B. found in the freezer for a pet? Chapter 9. My proudest honor. Pet day in room 9 was very exciting. There were cages with furry animals and bowls with fish, plus also there was a snake and a hermit crab and a rooster. That rooster is mine, said that meanie Jim I hate. He will peck your head off if I tell him to. He will peck it right into a nub. I made a sick face, 'cause a nub does not sound pleasant. Just then Lucille skipped over to me. Look, Junie B, look at my darling riding outfit. See my darling riding hat, and see my darling riding pants. And look, Junie B, here is a picture of my darling pony. And look at my darling riding boots. They are genuine, rawhide, cowhide. I smiled, very admiring. You are a beaut, Lucille, I said. Grace pulled on my arm. Junie B, come see Slicky. He's my goldfish, remember? I bought him a brand new bowl. Come see it, come see it. Just then my teacher clapped her loud hands together. Boys and girls, everyone needs to sit down right now. What an exciting day we're going to have in room 9 today. We hurried and sat. Mrs. pointed to the pet table in the back of the room. Who would like to go first? She asked. Who would like to introduce us to their pet? Me! I shouted. Me! Then I sprinted right out of my seat, but Mrs. said, sit down to me. And she called on Crybaby William, 'cause that guy never springs, that's why. William went to the pet table. He pointed to his bullfrog named Wendell. I just got him on Saturday, said William, very shy. Mrs. smiled. Well, he certainly is handsome, Bullfrog, she said. Would you like to take Wendell out of his tank for us, William? Would you like to show the children how to hold a bullfrog? Then William's face got whitish and sickish, and he started sweating a lot. That's how come Mrs. had to put a wet towel on his head, and she said he didn't have to hold Wendell. Charlotte went next. She showed us her bunny named Slippers. She carried him all around the room, and she let us pet his head. Slippers smelled like stinky feet. After Charlotte came Polly Allen Puffer. He showed us his parrot named Pirate named Pirate Pete. Only too bad for Pirate Pete, 'cause he kept on saying a bad word. and he wouldn't even stop. And so Mrs. had to send Pirate Pete to the office. You can see some of the pets there. After that, lots of children showed pictures of their dogs and cats, plus Jamal Hall showed us his lizard named Gizzard, and a boy named Ham showed us his hamster named Elvis. Finally, I raised my hand real calm. "It's nice to see you being so polite, Junie B. Would you like to go next?" Mrs. asked. "Did you bring a picture of your dog?" I shook my head. "No, because I didn't want to bring a picture, remember? I wanted to bring a real, actual pet. Only too bad for me, because Mother said no raccoon, and then my Grandma Helen Miller stole its Sparkle, plus also I lost Noodle, and then we couldn't find the orange juice, and so that's how come my grandpa moved the frozen vegetables, and boom! I saw a pet in there. So I put him in my backpack, and here he is now." After that, I quick unzipped my zipper pocket, and I held up my pet for everyone to see. "Fish Stick!" I said, real delighted. "I named him Fish Stick because he's a fish stick, of course." Room 9 stared and stared. Then all of a sudden, everyone laughed at once. "You goony bird!" yelled that meanie Jim. "Fish sticks aren't pets. Fish sticks are dinner." I felt very shrinking inside. But fish sticks have to be pets, right, Mrs. Wright?" I asked, "'cause fish sticks are fish, aren't they? And fish are pets, right?" Mrs. was hiding behind her hands. She peeked at me between her fingers. Yes, sure. Of course fish are pets," she said. I felt a teeny bit better. "So then fish sticks can be pets too, right?" I said. Mrs. hided a little while longer. Poor Mrs. Always solving Junie's problems. "Well, let's see." After she finally took a deep breath and she got up from her desk. "Maybe we should see what the dictionary has to say about this," she said. After that, she took out her dictionary and she looked up the word pet. She read us what it said. "Pet," she said, "any tamed animal that is kept as a companion." "Okay," she said. "Now that we have the definition, let's see if Fish Stick fits the bill." She looked at me. "Junie B, is Fish Stick tame or is he wild?" "Tame," I said. "Fish Stick is very, very tame. He won't even peck your head into a nub." "Okay, good," said Mrs. "And would you say Fish Stick is a good companion, Junie B? Can you take him lots of places? And does he behave himself pretty well?" "Yes," I said. "Fish Stick can even go more places than my dog, probably, 'cause I can push Fish Stick right in my backpack, and he doesn't even say a peep." Mrs. smiled real happy. Then she walked to my table, and she shaked my hand. "Well then, congratulations," she said. "According to the dictionary, Fish Stick is definitely a pet." And after that, she took Fish Stick out of my hand, and she carried him to the pet table. And guess what? She put him right next to Slicky. "Grace, hey Grace, now our fishes can be friends just like us," I said, real delighted. Just then I heard a croaking noise. It came from Wendell the bullfrog, I think. Then Wendell croaked even louder, and that made Slicky the goldfish jump in his water, and that made the rooster cock-a-doodle-doo, and that made Slippers thump his loud foot, and then his cage door accidentally came open and he hopped right off the table. "Oh no, no, no," yelled Room 9. And then all of us chased Slippers all over the place, and he hopped and hopped until Mrs. caught him in the trash can. It was the excitingest adventure Room 9 ever even had. And that's not the bestest part of Pet Day, because at the end of school, Mrs. gave out special ribbons to all the pets. And the rooster got screechiest, and Pirate Pete got talkiest, and Slicky got bubbliest, and Slippers got most rascally rabbit, and Fish Stick got most well behaved. I did a gasp at that wonderful thing, and I shaked and shaked Mrs. hand. "Thank you, Mrs. Thank you." "'Cause this is the proudest honor I ever imagined." Mrs. laughed. Then she said me and Fish Stick made her day. Then she gave me a hug. And that is called a perfect ending.